We are back, and the end of the year is fast approaching, so I thought I would recap my top 5 best pay-per-views of the entire year. So let's hop right into it. I'm going to be ranking this from 5 going down to 1, 5 being the worst, 1 being the best. So let's start with number 5. Coming in at number 5 will be UFC 304. I went 10-4 on my picks this card. 3.8 betting units up on this card. Some nasty picks like Makayev under takedowns. That hits for some. Like, some of these picks that I had in this card is just, like, interesting, but they worked out. 10-4 is pretty good. You know, I had Paddy Pimblett round 1 finish over Bobby Green. I had Tom Aspinall by under half a round. Tom Aspinall, and that was, like, plus 280 for the under half a round. So some of the hits I had on this card were pretty good. It is coming in at number 5 because Leon Edwards was my pick for the main event. I can't lose a main event and still have it rank in the top 4 best pay-per-views. So obviously this one will be the lowest of the bunch, coming in at number 5. So coming in at number 4 is UFC 302. I went 10-2 on my picks on this card. I cashed the 6-leg parlay, but the straight bets that I had there, I only hit one of the straight bets, Kopylov by money line there, and the rest of them were fucking washed. I was way off in the main event. I thought it was going to be a finish within the first 2 rounds for Makhachev. Didn't happen. But like, I did have 4 perfect predictions. I had Strickland by decision. It's not a crazy pick. I had Randy Brown by decision over Dos Santos. Zaleski, that's a better pick. You know, it is a little tougher. I could see people picking Zaleski there. I had Kopylov by decision, I believe, and I also had Grant Dawson by decision. So, like, the Grant Dawson one was supposed to happen, obviously, but I had not a bad card here, but the straight bets kind of dragged it down a bit, and not hitting the perfect main event pick also dragged it down a bit. So that's why this one's coming in at number 4. So coming at number 3 is UFC 303, where I went 10-3 on my picks, and I profited 20.75 units, which is why this ranks number 3 and why I'm showing the full card slate in the background instead of the picks graphic. I had some pretty good picks on this card. Like, I had the Pyfer Feely 2-leg. A lot of these are returning me money. It's just 20 units is a pretty good card. And it should be dragged down a bit because of a couple main card picks, but I was still able to go 20 units up, so I'm not too worried about the MVP loss and the Moy Bueno Silva loss are like the only losses on this entire thing. So I'm pretty proud of the UFC 303 slate, and that's why it's ranking in at number 3, because I profited 20.75 units. It was a great card, so this ranks number 3. So coming in at number 2 is UFC 308. I went 10-2 on this card. Some pretty good picks. I had a completely perfect main card. Picked Topuria by KO against Holloway. Amazing pick. Chimaev, round 1 submission against Whitaker. I picked Lerone Murphy by decision over Dan Ige. I picked Ankalev by decision over Rakic. I had Magomedov by decision over Petrosian, which was really close if he didn't land that fucking back fist. I would have had a completely perfect pick main card, which would have been legendary. Or that's not even true, actually. I didn't have a perfect pick in the main event. I had round 2 KO in the main event. It was round 4 KO or round 3 KO. But still great main card. You know, the only 2 losses in the entire card were the Miktik fight and Bruno Ferreira, which in hindsight, maybe I should have picked Abus, but he's kind of fraudulent, and I would stand by that Bruno pick. Bruno's gritty as fuck. Miktik, he nearly won that fight multiple times. You know, in that 3rd round, he was showing so much heart. That was a great fight, and this was a legendary card. You know, Topuria by KO to top it off when I was getting called crazy, like Holloway was gonna fucking walk the floor with the kid. Wasn't gonna happen. That's why it ranks number 2. Some legendary picks, perfect main card. I think it speaks for itself. So coming in at number 1, we've got UFC 298. I went 10-2 on my picks. As you see on the main card, I do have 2 losses on the main card, but I will stand by this as my number 1 pick because 10-2, Topuria, round 2 KO in the main event. 7 perfect predictions on this card. Perfect predictions meaning method, round, and the fighter, you know. So if it's a finish, I'm picking the round. I picked Topuria round 2 KO. I picked Whitaker decision, Merab decision, Rinya Nakamura decision. Zhang Mingyang round 1 KO. I picked Obon Elliott decision, and I picked Miranda Maverick decision. I had a really good card. Despite the 2 losses on the main card, I had a pretty good card. And to top it off, Topuria round 2 KO against Volkanovski. It wasn't... I was pretty confident in that pick. And I wrote paragraphs about that pick. A huge breakdown for that pick. I gave Volk the respect in my breakdown. I said he was the GOAT. He's just coming in with really bad circumstances, and it was all true. And that's why this pay-per-view, 298, is my best card of the year. Let me know what you guys think of my rankings. We'll be back here in the new year. I might do a worst picks video, but I don't know if I can mentally do it, guys. It'll be tough if I get that one out, but let me know what you thought of this best picks video. We'll be back here in the new year. I have a new setup, so we're planning a lot of streams and good content coming out here in the new year, so be ready for that. Let's go. Thanks for watching.